Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the live class, live Facebook page of how to. Welcome to the Facebook page of live of how to export foodstuff out of Nigeria. Now, to this morning we'll be discussing. Good morning. This morning we'll be discussing how do you want to export. I know a lot of people have been waiting to export. I know a lot of people have been waiting to export, and I've seen several people saying I'm interested. So what we'll be discussing this morning is what it entails for you to export. If you are there, let me see you with me because we're starting 10. Okay, there are different types of food that you can export outside Nigeria, and these I will class into two categories: the perishable ones and the non-perishable ones. You can export perishable foodstuff and you can export non-perishable foodstuff. Now, what are the perishable foodstuffs and what are the non-perishable foodstuffs? You see, perishables are fresh things, things that cannot last long, that spoiled on time. Like when you talk of your tomatoes, your chili pepper, fish, and some other things. So those things are the things that, okay, when you want to export them, you can export fresh things outside the country. For instance, at NACO, every Monday and Tuesday, twice in a week, there's an export project that goes on at NACO. NACO is a section of the airport where you can export things out. So every Monday, Tuesday, there's an export section at NACO where people export ugu, moi leaves, and some other leafy vegetables. Yes, they export through by air every Monday and Tuesday from Nigeria. That's one aspect. The second type of food you can export again is the non-perishable one. Now, for the non-perishables one, we're talking of shea butter, we're talking of your groundnut, we're talking of your yam and some other stuffs like that. Those ones, they are not something that gets spoiled immediately on time. They don't get spoiled on time. So you can export like that. And now the means of export are quite different. When we're talking of means of export, now let's not before we go to the means of export, why do we have to export? We should ask the question, why are we exporting? Why exactly do we have to export? Now the first thing the first thing that comes to mind is this. In Nigeria here, we have produce. In Nigeria here, we have produce and every other thing that you can easily we can produce all year. We have a good weather that enable us to produce all year round, as in we can produce we have a good weather. For instance, in January we have a dry season. In Nigeria we have two seasons: the dry season, the non-dry season, and the everything. But in outside the country, they don't have the good seasons as we have. When we are talking of the good seasons, like for instance, in Nigeria we have the grace to plant all year round. When we say the grace to plant all year round, it means you can plant any time of the year, provided you can get water. Our own challenges is just water. But outside the country, they have some weather, they have their climate are not too conducive to planting all year round. And that's why we need to export. If you are joining me here, you are welcome to Yinka Adeshola. My name is Yinka Adeshola. I'm a farmer, I'm a trainer, I grow organic. But this morning I've taken the time so that we can discuss how to export outside the country. I know several people are interested, many people are interested, and that is why we are doing this morning. So we are going to be discussing how you can export your produce outside the country. And so from where we started from, I told you You can export virtually every kind of food stuff from Nigeria. Yes, any food you can think of. Why do we have to export? There are two reasons. One, we have our people outside there. Like when we say our people, like we have people from Nigerians, from African countries that are living abroad. They love to eat, they still want to have access to things that were produced at home. As in, okay, your garri, your ugu, your ewedu, they still want to have access to those things there because yes, this is what they are brought up with. So definitely there is high demand for things that are produced in Nigeria. There's high demand for Nigerian food, African food generally. The second reason why we need to export, just like I was explained, is that because their weather there does not allow them to plant most of those things. For instance, now, when we talk of shea butter only grows in West Africa, in some region of West Africa. It doesn't grow everywhere. So in that case, they need to get it from us in Africa. And then there's some other things like that. The weather, their weather changes like the spring, the winter, and all this stuff. During those winter period and other periods, they cannot plant anything. So we have the opportunity, we have the chance to produce more and to be able to get it outside the country. Now, I've mentioned why we are exporting, why we're talking about export. But if I ask everybody here, the reason you really want to export is purposely because we want to earn more than the normal fee. For instance, we believe dollar, yes, it's not that we believe, dollar is quite better, far, far better than Nigeria, than our naira. As in, if you have $1, you know what to convert it to. You have $2, you have $3. So we all look at, okay, if I can sell my produce in dollar and everything, I will get better pay. But there's a challenge we always overlook. We want to earn in dollars, but we are not ready. Are we set? Are we ready to set our quality to meet up to the dollar quality? As in, okay, if we know dollar is far better in quality than naira. When if you go to the market with $1 and you go to the market with $1, I'm sure you get better. You know what we get from the market. There are different things you are going to buy from the market. So because, oh, thank you, I thought I've been talking to myself. Somebody is there. Thank you. You're welcome for joining us. You can. So we all know dollar has more value than naira. So when you go to the market, you know, okay, if I go with $1, I know what I will buy. If I go with $1, I know what I will buy. But so because of that, we are all struggling to send something out. We want to send our food producer so that we get better pay for it. But what we fail to consider, most of us, is okay, what quality is the dollar buying? For instance, if you want to sell your ewedu and earn in dollar, you can't just take it the way we take our ewedu to the market here. Okay, we just uproot it, the sand is there, everything is there, you just shake it off, and then you take it to the market and you're selling it 10 naira. So if you want to earn better quality pay for it, you must also be ready to do the work. As in, okay, this ewedu, I brought it from the market, I took special care of it, I remove all the sand, all the soil, everything that is attached to the ewedu, and I'm able to, okay, how do I preserve this ewedu? I will not just take it like that and take it to the market. I want to, because the market is demanding quality from you. So the way I will sell my ewedu for $1 is not the same way I will sell my ewedu for $1. That is the difference we need to first consider. You see, because if you don't consider all those things, just is it not the same the way you are? Okay, imagine you uprooted something from the farm, no proper cleaning, no proper anything, and then you expect to earn, you want to send it outside to sell. Those are just by the way, because we still get there, but I'm just explaining to you. So because you are looking to earn in dollars, you should be prepared to do the work that we hand you that dollar, and not just the same way we sell it. For instance, go to our market here, you see the way garri is being displayed. Our garri, just put it on the floor, people might even be stepping on it, and then the packaging. So there are a lot of things involved, but we are not getting to that yet. While I started, for those that are just joining us, you're welcome, sir. Are just joining us, but I've mentioned you can watch the video over again. I've mentioned the types of things we can export, the perishables, the non-perishables, and whatever. Now, and I've also discussed why we're looking at export, why most of us want to export, and why there's demand for those export food, why we really want them. Now, the second thing we'll be discussing, means of exporting. If you want to export fresh means things you harvested fresh, tomato, vegetables, pepper, and all this stuff. the means of transport, the means of getting it out of Nigeria will be quite different from when you want to export non-perishable. Like I explained, non-perishables are things that have a longer shelf life. They can stay longer. You don't need to quickly freeze them, or you don't need to quickly sell. In Nigeria, when we harvest perishables, we always rushing. We are rushing. We just want to sell them off now, so that that kind of thing. But if it is non-perishable, you don't need to rush yourself, you don't need to do all those things because you sell them. Now, when we're talking of the means of exporting these things, there are three. I'm going to mention three main ways by which you can export your food crops. Then we're still going to go back to quality and standard that separate these three main ways of exporting. Now, the three main ways is: one, you can send things abroad through friends and family. For instance, I want to send something outside the country, as in I want to send something to one of my friend outside, or one of my brother outside. I can easily say, oh, who is going to USA? Who is going to Europe? Who is doing this? Who can help me take it along? I'm exporting it. I'm sending it out. You can do that through friends and family. Then also, in the challenges with friends and family is that, one, you need to keep begging. You need to keep looking for, okay, who will help me take these things along. You need to, it's like a kind of help. Please help me. Please help me. Another second method, and the things you can send through friends and family, you should know you cannot send perishable things. You cannot say, okay, let me give away due to my brother in UK. No, you can't send it. It has to be non-perishable foodstuffs. When you are sending through friends and family, you cannot, understand. Though some friends might. Now, there's a current system we have now. There are people that help you move things outside. Because of the way I do my kind of work, I deal with shea butter, black soap, and all this stuff. So several times people called me and said, look, my agent will pick this thing from you and send it to me. So currently, as we speak, there are agents, yes, in Nigeria. There are people that, okay, people outside the country, they want something from Nigeria, they will just contact you and say, okay, give it, my agent is also, give it to my agent, or drop it with my agent, and they will send it to me. The agents are not moving those produce free. No, not at all. They are not moving them free. They collect money, they charge them. In some cases, per kilo, they charge them. So they are not moving those things free of charge. So we have those ones too. We've moved from friends and family. Now we are moving to a little paid one. But what you can send through agents too is non-perishable produce. You cannot send them, okay, because most of the agents, yes, some ship by air, some move produce by air, while some moves by ship, and so you cannot send perishable things through agent or through friends and family. The other method of sending, like the agent again, for people that want to export, there's a system that has been going on for quite some time. Outside the country, there's a system called there's a place called Africa. There's a system there that's called African markets. Now, what I mean by African market, let me just briefly explain this. When we talk about African market mean, there are, let me use ShopRite and our open general market as example. If you go to ShopRite, you see the way they neatly package it, and see the way they neatly package their things in whatever. I noticed something. Most farmers, or most people, when they go to ShopRite, they snap the picture and they start comparing the price with what they're selling in the market. For instance, let me use corn. If you buy corn by the roadside, you pay just 1 naira, or you just normally corn on the roadside is like 15 naira, 200 naira. You even price, madam, sell three for me now, sell six for me, 200 naira. But when you go to ShopRite, you see the way they package it. The same one corn you are buying for 200 naira by the road, for 50 naira, 100 naira by the roadside, ShopRite might be selling it for 1,500 naira. I will explain the difference. This is where initially I had that mentality too. I was say, why are they selling it like this? Now, ShopRite gets from somebody that is producing from the farm. One, they give condition. When you are bringing my produce, it has to get here immediately after harvesting. I want to preserve they preserve their freshness. When I say they preserve their freshness, in the sense that, unlike the one that farmer is bringing to you that has stayed, they even harvest it and throw it under one tree, or they pour it under one tree in the sun for 2 hours, for 3 hours, and everything. But the one you are taking to the ShopRite, they give you condition. It must come in an AC car, or a cooling van vehicle. You know what I mean. So that by the time the corn is getting to them at the shop right or at the spars where you want to sell it is still as fresh as when you just remove it. And immediately they get it. They are not just going to see throw it on open shelves. They are not going to display it and say, okay, let everybody be buying. No, they are going to immediately move it out into a cooling, from a cooling system to another cooling system. AC car to, you know what I mean. But unlike the one you buy, the one you are buying has lost some quality because it has been exposed to air, to heat, even to flies. You know the way farmers handle their things. So, but the one you are going to buy at the shops and everything went through hygienic process. You know, they allowed it to go smooth. You know, kind of. I know you understand. So the price, you know, the commitment, the quality, everything that is put into it. Okay, if I use a cooling van to move my vegetables from here to Lagos, and then I go to Lagos to start displaying it openly, it means I'm stupid. So the same thing with ShopRite. They pay for that van, they paid for their workers, they pay so many things. Now imagine farmer that just harvest it, they put it at the back of a truck, maybe a truck that is just loading, going one. You know that what I mean? People are stepping on it and everything, and that's the way you will find it in open markets and generally, and that's what we go to buy. So the quality differs, it makes the price differ. Now let's go back to exporting. I use that as an example so that you can understand what we are really going through. Now, when we are going through exporting, you discover that I mentioned something before I started this example. I said there's something called African market, and there's something called so in outside the country too, in Europe and other countries, they have something we call on the shelf. On the shelves are those supermarkets, those places where they displayed it, they put the sticker, they put the label, they even put the producer and everything. You know, they label it well. You go there, you move around, you read the. Some produce even have their ingredients, what they use to produce it, or from the, you know, those kind of thing. So now for an African, you are sending food to Europe, you are exporting your produce. If you are sending through friends and family, we know you are sending it to, possibly you have a contact that want to buy from you, and you now saw somebody, my friend, you are charging, please let me give it to this person. The person has paid you, but he knew the quality we have in Nigeria, so it's okay and he's satisfied with the quality. He knows what you are going to send to them, so they are not really complaining. So when you send your produce that way, yeah, they will, of course, what they pay you might still be more than what you will sell in Nigeria, but at least is that, you know what I mean? So you get goods like that. But for you now, if your products, for your produce, you don't have any label, you don't have any certification, nobody has really certified you, we're still going to talk about all those ones. I'm just taking it a bit little by little so that people can understand what it entails. So I just packaged my egusi, I went to the open market. The open market, remember how I told you those things got there? I bought egusi, I blended it or I ground it, and now put it in sellotape, nylon and everything. Bam! I'm sending it to some of my friends. I'm selling it outside. Who will help me send it to Kiniko Kiniko? There's African market, like I said. In African market, that is where I learned you get those produce that, okay, they are not certified. You know what I mean? In Nigeria, we go to the market, we see what we want, it's fine, it's beautiful, we buy it. We don't care about the certification, we don't care about the extent of chemicals that is used to produce it, we don't care of the source where it's coming from. I remember there was a time in Lagos that they caught some malam that were washing their, is it apple or what? I can't remember again. They were washing that inside gutter water. And those are the things they sell to people. Those are the things they sell around. Of course, it's cheap. This is what, I don't know if you understand. So if you package things like that to African market outside, it's not as bad as that one, but at least there's no need of, you don't need any certification, you don't need any certification to certify that, okay, this produce, they don't bother about it. So African market, but for you to even get your produce to African market, you need to have a contact. Like I said, there are agents developing now. People are into that business now in Nigeria. You need to have a contact, an agent that will pick it up for you. You go to the airport, you send it, and the agent will be the one to pick it up for you and distribute to your customers outside the country. That is, if you want to send anything, you really need that. And like I said, that method cannot send perishable produce. It can only sell non-perishable produce outside the country. So you need to have an agent You need to work with an agent that will be collecting, that will picking it for you at the airport, that will collect on your behalf to be able to distribute for you. The arrangement you will now have will be between you and that agent, as in, okay, this is what I'm giving to you, help me distribute. Is either you discuss commission, is either you discuss is how much is say giving you or is buying from you. It is between you and the agent. Those are the, so for everybody now, you want to export your egusi, you want to export your red oil, you want to export your this thing and everything. And you know all these things where we all want to export, they don't have certification, they don't have nobody has really checked them and anything, and so it has to go, that's the only process it can go through. That's one method of exporting. Now moving to another method of exporting, because like I said, we'll be dealing with them one by one so people can understand what it entails. You are welcome, you are welcome, you are welcome. If you are just joining us, you can watch back the video later. I think this is on my Facebook page. You can rewatch the video later. Now, like I said, we've discussed one method of exporting. That's okay, I package ugu, I package this. You need an agent, you need a contact there. And now, in that same system of I'm just sending, I remember I was discussing with a sister on Facebook, and what she told me, she run a restaurant. And what she was explaining to me is that, look, even things that come from like now, okay, if people that run restaurants outside the country, they want to use especially Nigerian food or African food, they want to use our ugu, they want to use our materials, but you find out that the ones that are going there from Nigeria are always full of stones, dirt. You know what I mean by stones? Dirt. You harvest your leafy vegetable, it's not properly cleaned, it's not, you understand, and then they put it and send it out. By the time it gets there, they go through the stress, the wahala of cleaning again and everything. But imagine the people in Ghana. I'm sorry to use that example. The same vegetable in Nigeria we said that it has to go through a lot of procedure, cleaning, washing, and whatever. In Ghana, they will have done all those cleaning, all those, they will have taken care of all those systems. And at the end of the, so by the time their produce get there, it's always very neat. So people prefer to buy something that has Ghana label or that has other African countries label, because it seems Nigerians, I'm sorry to use this word, it seems we just want a chua job. We just want to get it done. That kind of mentality from us there. Okay, just package it anyhow, anyhow. That's the mentality from here, from us there. That's one. Now, talking about that again, you see, like I was saying, I said means of exporting. I've just explained one. The second method of exporting, you see, I know I've said this several times, it still operates. There's a cargo plane that moves from Nigeria to Europe 5 times in a week and everything. And because in Nigeria there's no produce we're exporting, there's another method of export, like I told you. They export that method. You can export groundnut, you can export eggplant. No, I mean, got the head eggplant. You can export habanero, atarodo. Those atarodo, yellow, red, green. You can export it. You can export sweet potato. Sweet potato, anomo, our normal sweet potato, you can export it. You can, those things like that. So we find out that, like in Uganda, let me use an example. If you can Google it. KK Fresh is in Uganda. In KK Fresh in Uganda has a system whereby farmers, a guy, an entrepreneur went outside the country and sourced for the customers. Okay, we want you to be bringing us eggplant, we want you to be bringing us atarodo, we want you to be bringing us groundnut, epa, we want you to be bringing us, those things like that. So he went there, and when he got there, he sourced for those customers. Then he went back to his country and discussed with farmers nearby. You understand? By the time we discuss with farmers nearby, what the farmers now do is, okay, and he discuss with the farmers nearby, what the farmers now do is, okay, we pick these things. The farmers pick those. He coordinates the farmer. He trains them. You know, it's just sad that hygienic conditions are very poor when it comes to Nigerian food market. Yes, we know. So the guy now came back. He picked, by the time he went out, he got, okay, this is what they want. This is the quality. It's not, see, when we say quality, it's not anything special. It's when you produce, when our cleaning method is very poor, our hygienic method, just like somebody said, very poor. It's from the farm, the picking, the harvesting, everything. You see, I went for a training some 6, 7 years ago. At the training, we were informed that anything you pick like this, once you harvest, deterioration starts, as in it becomes to deteriorate. And then those things, if you expose it to sun, it becomes it's asking the deterioration. And because of that, you find out that our produce don't last long. They don't get to the market fresh as they're supposed to be. But wherever you are harvesting, you're supposed to harvest under the shade. And there's a lot, and the way we handle food stuff is quiet and eyesore, a big eyesore for us. Now, as I was saying, the other method of export. So a guy felt, okay, look, I'm not going to farm, I'm not going to do this, but I can coordinate farmers. It could be a win-win situation. So what the guy did was, okay, he went outside, he sourced for the customers. There's a place you can get customers. I know there's a place called Fruit Logistica. Fruit Logistica is a place, it holds every yearly, except last year because of COVID. It holds a yearly annual conference for every year where you can source customers. People that at the fruit logistics, you get people that need things from Africa. They will tell you what they want and the quality they want and whatever. So the guy went outside there and come back to Nigeria and come back to Uganda, to his country, and he coordinates farmers within his neighborhood, or he relocates to farmers neighborhood, you know because most of us are in the, he relocated to farmers neighborhood. Then he got them the seed, he put them through training. Now this is where the training comes in: handling of the food stuff, preparation. Now preparation, productions, and everything, that is where the training is required for somebody that want to export. I've As we're discussing now, we're discussing the second stage of export. We've moved from the primary one of people that just go to the market to buy this and buy that. If you are that type of exporter that you just go to the market, you buy this, you source this, you source this, you will only be able to send or export your produce through friends and family or agents, if you have contact in outside the country that are already used to our produce. They are used to whatever you are bringing in Nigeria, that okay, as long as it's Nigerian food, I'm ready to have it. You understand? And there's even a level of understanding that they too want. They will give you some quality. They don't want stones and everything inside their leafy vegetables. They want, there is requirements for them too. And there are some requirements they have. To be candid, let me tell you, there are some farmers, there are some Hausa farmers, northern farmers, beside Lekki Gate beside Lasu Gate in Lagos. If you are used to Yanaba or Jo, whatever area, at the back there, those guys, there's a water something at that back there. Those guys are planting ugu, ewedu, onions, and all these short time crops. And all these short things these guys are. Do you know? You won't believe it when you see them. They water with watering can. They don't have any irrigation system. You just see everybody making their own beds in batches like that. Because I've been there to see them, and you find out, you'll be surprised that those guys are exporting. Yeah, they are exporting. They export because they are in groups. They are plenty. Everybody just go at the Lekki, at the Lasu gate, Lasu wall, like that. Enter from Yanoba and start going towards Yanopaja, all those sides. You will see those guys arranged there. They've been there for several years, and to be candid with you, they are exporting. They live there, and they are using and watching can to water their crops. They export there. That's one method. In their own set of method is the style I'm explaining now. That the guy went outside and he came back. He coordinated the farmer within his community there. He moved to a farmer's community. So he told them, okay, I want you to be planting atarodo for me. I want you to be planting granite for me. I want you to be planting eggplant, that's garden egg, for me. I want you to be planting, he gave them what he want. So farmers go, and then he trained them. What I mean by training is that he puts them through, okay, this and this and this and this is what we want you to do. So he started training them, and they were producing those things. So, like I told you, if you want to export with that system, even with the guys at Lasu, what they do and what they do from NACO in Nigeria every day, they will create a carton pali. Inside that carton, you create that. In that carton pali, you punch it. There's a way you punch and make holes around it, design it on that carton. Now this is where registrations and everything come. The name of the company supplying that produce, the batch number must be there, the country where it is coming from must be there, and some other list of things that must be there on that carton. Now, in this case, it is the entrepreneur or whoever is taking the lead that will have his company name and his badge and everything that is putting on the carton. Why the other farmers only comes there to supply him, and maybe the arrangement could be in kg, or you know what I mean. So they supply him, so the other farmers only just come produce, then they already know the grade, they already know the quality that is required, because the person coordinating them will have put them through, he has trained them. So the farmers supply, like the guy was saying, they export like 60, 50 or 100 ton. What am I saying? About 560 600 tons per month or per week. You can Google KK Fresh. It's in Uganda, you get it from African countries, it goes to Europe. Actually, there's somebody I will possibly mention here, is my Facebook friend. She's in Kenya. She's a lady, she's a lady, she's in Kenya, a young one. And I got interested and I've been following her project. Uh, she runs a farm called Total Herbs. Do you know what she's exporting? She exports she runs a company called Total Herbs, and she exports she exports basil. Basil is ephedrine, scent leaf. I want our her scent leaf, basil. She export basil. She export leafy things that you will be surprised. And weekly, do you know, I make it a point of beauty. Whenever she posts her picture, I'll be counting the cartons she's sending out every week. As in, I'll be counting, okay, 100, 200 cartons every week. She exports to Europe from Kenya. She's an African, So she has a place. She has a cooling system. Now, for those that want to join that group, she has a cooling system that I'm trying to copy around there. As in, you just need an AC. You just need an AC and some fittings and everything, and it's reduce the temperature to like less than, it will not freeze, and it will not, there's a lot going out there. Okay. So now you see, so in that type of system now, you need, for this type I'm saying, you can do it, you can go individual and you can go as a group. Individually is what, like that my lady friend is going through, my friend, she's doing it individually. She has a place, she farms a basil, she farms herbs. Like when I talk of herbs, basil, coriander, all these leafy vegetables, all these herbs and spices, and they are good source for you. Even Nigeria, herbs and spices. So she farms them and she exports in cartons every week. That's another system. Then if you can't do it alone, you can work with groups, as in work with team, or relocate to where you can get a team. You see, we don't leave a comfort zone. We don't want to leave a comfort zone. People are always shocked when I said I'm not from this locality. I came here because I needed land. I want somewhere to farm, and my direction pointed, and I followed it. That's not, by the way, that's not what we're discussing today. So you should look for where you can achieve your dream, not I have my farm here, come and join me or come and meet me. No, if you see some other group of farmers somewhere, or that you can work together, you should go there. Look at the northern side. In the north, you see, during farming season, farmers move to Kano where they want to plant tomatoes. Farmers move to Kebbi when they want to plant rice. Most of them are not from that locality, but they get there and they adapt. Look at the farmers I was telling you beside Lasu Gate in Lagos. They move there and they adopt, and now they'll be staying there and they are making money. I'm sure they will have built house in their villages, or they'll be sending money home to their wives and whatever. So we should learn to live our comfort zone. I'm not preaching that today. Now, the next one, so that's another method, as in the cluster group. Now we are moving gradually. The cluster group of exports. Let me give you something. Like I told you, I've mentioned my friend that moved produce every week. She's doing it individually. I've mentioned the group in Uganda that they are doing it collectively. Farmers produce, they submit to the man. He gave them their own fee and he moves it out and he sells them. That is another method of export. So when people are saying I want to export, I want to export. So those are the things. The second, then I have something. I have a question. Now let me get on. I now have a question. I just briefly put down here. Because of I have a question. I have something. I now ask: do we need to export? Do we actually need to export? That's the question I keep asking. Yes, when I post this thing out, somebody was asking me, and you people are stupid. There's no food in Nigeria, and you're planning of exporting and all this stuff, whatever. I just smiled. I did not respond because I felt, look. Now, do we actually need to export? Okay, I'll start mentioning some things. In Nigeria, we import. When I say we import, I'm going to be mentioning the people that how we import them or how we get them. In Nigeria today, we import tomato paste. Yeah. Well, we import tomato paste. We import fruit juice concentrate. We import onion flakes. We import we, I don't even know how to keep mentioning all these things. We import chili pepper from India. Now you now keep wondering, if we are struggling, we want to export, we want to export, we want to export. What happened to what we need in our country? How do we take advantage of that? How do we get into that system? Yes, export is good. We want to earn dollars. But like I told you, there's a lot involved, and I will still going to explain the lot that is involved in our wanting to export. Now, for those groups that I told you, my friend that is exporting individually, or those groups that are doing it in a cluster, that they're submitting their produce to, to the man that is exporting it for them, and they are working together. I discovered that, you see, you see, the process of getting certification, there's something called certification. Now, I mentioned the first set. The first set I mentioned about those ones that you send through friends or you send through agents and everything. There's no certification for that. You don't need to register anything. Like I said, once you discuss with whoever is collecting your produce and they're certified with what they want, or they are okay with what you're sending to them, you don't need any registration. You don't need NAFDAC. You don't need anything. You just, of course, your customer is, you already have your customer and they are okay. But you know, in that instance, you can't send much. Maybe in 3 months or 2 months, you are able to send 2 buckets of egusi. You know what I mean? Or, you know, you can't send much in those cases. Now, you now find out that because you can't send much in those cases, there's little you can do. Now, the disadvantages of sending friends and family or sending agents or whatever, in some cases, they might not get your money back for you. Yes, there's no certification in that, so you are free. But one, they might not get your money back to you. The agents, what if the agent did not deliver what you said him? There's nothing you can do. There's no way you can handle him. Two, what of if two, what of if you send it and the complaint is bad or whatever? There's, you know, I mean, there's no certification, no whatever. You can. The first most important is your money. You might not get your money back. It depends. If you don't meet truthful people, people that will be faithful to you, you might not get your money remit back to you. Then the second thing to it is, it's not a consistent means of exporting, as in it's not an assurance that okay, they will come, they will buy tomorrow, they will buy next tomorrow, they will buy. No, it's not an assurance. So you have to keep struggling and struggling, and you might even go. I remember one time I said I want to export. Someone will ask for a I will run and buy a one bowl. Someone will ask for pepper, I will run and buy pepper one bowl. You know, it becomes like okay, you just keep, you run around, and at the end of the day, yeah, most of those produce you might not end up selling them if nobody else is demanding for them. Now, for the second one we're explaining, you need certification. For my friend that is doing it individually, she needs certification. She's trying to get her global gap certification. For group, you need certification. Now, the difference in the two is this. When you are doing it individually, you go through all the process of certification that the company is requesting for. And all this process of certification that the company is requesting for means you spend money. Because see, they are going to send somebody to your farm. See, they are interested in knowing from production, from the seed you plant. They want to know the seed you are planting. Where do you source your seed? Where did you know, they want to know. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. In 2014, I was a trainee with Kole CP. So there's a company in Nigeria, Kivelin Group. Kivelin Group has been exporting the other system of sending through friends. They export garri. They were exporting ugu. They were buying ugu from. We went to that place. There's a place in Lagos close to, I can't remember again. Went to that place because we have to go and visit the farm. So they've been exporting, as in they send through the other. They have friends. Actually, they are husband and wife, and they have access of. They travel out most of them, so they go with their goods whenever they are going out. Now they are looking at expanding their their selling, as in, they want their produce to appear on shelf. I remember, if you are here with us at the beginning, you remember I mentioned chef where we're starting and produce that get to the chef. So they want their produce to start being on the chef. So because they want there, they wrote to one of the organization. Like I told you, their certification for that. For your produce to be on the chef, you must have gone through a lot of certification, starting from one, your production, your seed, even your workers. How are you treating your workers? They want to know how you're treating your worker, your social responsibility. You know, there are a lot involved, which it's something someone can go through. So with that, they now wrote to a company and to an organization. So while me, I was a trainee with that organization. So the organization is CP. They are an European company. So CP now sends someone down from another country to come and explain to come and inspect their farm and all these things. Yeah, for a week. And me being a trainee there and in Nigeria, it was an opportunity. They said you two should join to go and participate to know what it entails. So me and one other and a colleagues in Nigeria here who were trainee then, so we joined to go and attend the training. So when our trainer came, he took us through all the process and the things we need to ask, things they need to have on the farm for them to be able to, before their produce could be certified. And by the end of the day, we went to the farm and everything. By the end of the day, we discovered the company did not even meet up to 10% of what is required to be certified. You know what I mean? But you know, they are individual, as in they are doing it individually. And I know with time, I understand if they are doing it as a group, as in okay. Now, most of the requirements that were asked for individually, if a group were working together, it will have reduced the cost because they will share the cost of inviting somebody all the way from another country. They will share the cost of the inspections. They will share the cost of some of the things they'll be using on the farm if a group has coordinated together, just like the guy in Uganda is doing with his co-farmers, that they have a group and they were good. I'm happy. Somebody said they know where I'm mentioning. So if they have a group to meet, you understand. So somebody just wrote here, I know the place you mentioned. I will get weekly vegetables from there to UK. I'm glad somebody knows that. Thank you. So you understand. So if it's a group, it will have been easy for a group. Like the equivalent I was mentioning, they export every week. It was during that process we were taken to narco section at the exporting section at the airport. I'm telling you a story of 2014, so you could know things have been going on for years. It was there we discovered, look, plane moves from Nigeria to Europe every day. I told you, I think, like I said, I've been mentioning this several times. So plane moved from Nigeria to Europe every day. They move vegetables. Yes, they move it immediately. There's a system. So in that system too, like I said, they have like people have been buying in UK, people that want to have access to our food there, so they can export through that means. But now for them, for their produce to appear on shelf, they need to go through some certification. Yes, it is those certifications that they will now present to the stores, for the stores to be able, it's those certifications they will present to the stores before the stores will now be collecting those produce from them. And then the stores, when you are buying things from store, it costs more than when you are sending through friends. So the farmer or the producer earns more, you know, because it's certified quality. There are so many quality, you understand. So in what I'm explaining now, I've explained several types of exports you can do. So for you to do the one that will, for your produce to be on shelf. Now on the shelf issue, you don't need to have somebody there. Once you complete your registration, your everything with the stores and everything, and you know what you can supply them every week or every month or every whatever, so you just only need to keep supplying. Yes, and you make sure you meet regulations, and then continuously they still come back to check your farm to see if you are still going, if you are still following up with the recommended agreement, as in the procedures, the everything. You know, like I told you, it's strict, but they are good things, to be candid with you. That's another method of export. And so clusters, group, farmers, if you have in your area, you can initiate with other farmers to do that kind of export. So there's a lot of African food, like I've mentioned, there's a lot of African foods that are needed outside. But now let's still come back home. Like I said, I've spent like 40 something minutes. By 1 hour, I will stop and we can use like 30 minutes for question and answer briefly. So that now I said in Nigeria alone, we import so many foodstuff. Now, okay, about a year, last year, I have a trainee. You know, my place, I do trainings, I have participants and everything. Last year, one of my trainee went to search for something. Last year or upper year, one of my trainee was determined, he was searching for where we can supply chili peppers. Yeah, in Nigeria. You know what? We got. You know, all this noodles company, all these noodles company, Indomie, whatever, they are importing chili pepper from India. Chili pepper from India. You can imagine. Why farmers they will be shouting, no market, no market. Now I will explain to you about why no market, no market. Now, do you know, do you know, in just like I started when I started explaining the quality, farmers will plant. You see, there's something most companies are they worried about, the freshness of their produce. I'm on the farm here in Agua. I produce my chili pepper. When we harvest, as they harvest it, they leave it in the sun there until in the evening before we pack it from the sun. And when we pack it from the sun, it has lost some value. The sun has extracted some water from it, so it's losing its freshness. When we pack it from the sun, we keep it under a tree again. Maybe it's on the third day. We now use sack and load the chili inside bag. As you put it inside your sack and bag, it's already, Yoruba we said omoru. It will be water will start coming out of it, and the bag, by the time it gets to the market, and market, we don't care in the market. By the time it gets to the market, is that the way, you will have. I remember, let me tell you a story. There was a time I harvested pepper. I now put it in nylon bag and tied it and put it in carton and send it to Lagos. By the time it got to Lagos, it's decayed. It has changed color, as in you can't even give it to anybody again. It has destroyed it. Now, for those people, okay, those people that are going outside the country to export all these peppers and everything. For instance, when my trainees came back to give me results, he said they want us to bring sample. Now, the sample they want is just that you harvest the sample, you dried it, and if possible, you blend it and give them sample. Do you know where we have challenges? It was rainy season, and we couldn't, you can't dry pepper in the open in rainy season. You can dry in dry season. And that's another thing again. The peppers, those people that are exporting, where they are exporting, they are not drying it in the open. They rather create a shade for it, because while you are drying in the open, flies and everything are already touching it. But imagine the one they dry, they create a space for it, they create a space, even it's in the sun, but at least it's in a covered place and it dried very well, and they blind it and move it there. So the challenges we have then was, it was rainy season. We couldn't dry in rainy season. We did an experiment. When I told him we went to use, I even bought a dehydrator, but we discovered it took hours. And you see, in my community, we only have light once in 6 days or once in 1 week. So you can imagine that kind. So, okay, let's go and look at. I now went to look for local oven. We look at the local oven and we want to dry it there. When they finish baking bread, I baked them. So we put it there. Yes, it's dry. But if you want to be dry quantity, you can't be begging local ovens every day. So that's another challenge, the drying and everything. Now, what am I saying? Those noodles company again have one challenge too. If they say farmers in Nigeria should supply them, if only, okay, let me give you 2 years ago, I planted pepper in my community, and the pepper was so much that everybody was shouting Atayinka, Yinka's pepper and everything. The following year that followed, I didn't get the pepper right again, or my pepper did not do very well. It means I did not have pepper to supply the community again. Now, if let's assume a company has given me the order, I've signed an agreement with the Indomie noodles company that, okay, I want to be supplying you, and they say, okay, they cut off all their other customers, don't come again, we already have a good customer. And then the year I produced very well, I supplied it. Then the second year I do not have. What will happen to their business? So you see, all those things are what is making them not to look inward first, because we can't meet up. The only way the consistency is one big thing. Consistency. How consistent are our farmers? Let me use an instance again. Farmers in Nigeria only plant or grow crops in rainy season, as in it is during the rain you see them planting and running around, except some other place in the north where they produce. Okay, I wrote something about onions yesterday. It most of the food produce we do in Nigeria, it is one season crop. Tomato is one season crop. In the north where they produce, yes, they will only produce tomato September, October, November, December, until next year again. Company cannot function with that kind of produce. Onions, they will produce in 3 months until next year again. It's the same thing. Even they are even trying. I'm sorry to use that word. In the southwest, we are not even coordinating to produce things like that because we are scattered all over and everybody's struggling on their own to meet up. So in that case, the companies, okay, they go to India. You see large farm. Okay, in Ghana, let me use Ghana as example here. I was riding quote, I forgotten that area again in Ghana. Because then I planned to travel there to go and see how they are working. I discovered they have 250 women in a group that are planting chili pepper alone. They only plant chili pepper all year round. But you understand? Now, in that case, it means, let me first ask one question. Those 250 women, are you going to tell me all of them are from that community? Capital no. So they left their comfort zone. The second one, they left their comfort zone, which we don't often do in Nigeria here. Two, those 50 women, they will be able to supply all year round. If I'm planting 1 acre or 2 acres, another woman is planting there, and everybody is scattered like that, our produce will not always come out at the same time. It will come out at different time, and then the company can always have what they will depend on, what they will use to produce. The same thing with this, it's becoming a group. I can even schedule. Some people plant in January, some people in February, some people in March, some people, and everybody keep having produce, and we're all happy. The companies are happy. They have consistent supply, and they will not go outside to buy again. That's one. The second one, let me give you an example. When Dangote started the tomato processing, that was in 2014. I was initially scared that, hey, tomato will be whatever. But as time goes on, I studied this pattern. Dangote processing facility in Kano would only be able to produce tomato paste for 3 months in a year. Why? Because it is only that 3 months in a year that farmers in the north produce and have excess tomatoes to supply. The other 9 months, there's nobody producing tomatoes. There's nobody, you understand? And so it means the factory will be locked down for the other 9 months. So for that 3 months is the only period that Nigeria will have tomato paste from anyone that invests in the farming system here. But the other 9 months means those are the months we are importing tomatoes into the country. Yeah. Now, each time we import something, the tomatoes they are importing, don't forget, some other people are planting it for them somewhere. Now, where they are planting those tomatoes they are importing, it means those people there are getting employed, while Nigeria are getting unemployed. I know several times I've written something on my line. I said this is the way Dangote company can be able to get tomatoes all year round. As in, they have to invest in farmers. I don't want to talk about that again. They have to invest in farmers. They have to coordinate farmers so that they can produce all year round. They have to invest in water system, create dams, and have their own personal dams and say, okay, these farmers, and coordinate them to produce in batches, not just producing for 1 month of the year. That is that, by the way. So still talking about our exports, I hope you are getting why we're not exporting and all that is involved for us to export. I'll tell you why I decided to do this. I've been struggling and running around to export since 2014 or 2013. My first passion was, I want to export, I want to export, I want to earn dollars. But when I got into the system, I started realizing, okay, this is not right, this is not done, this is not done. So I tried in my own little way to put things together, but okay, They are not really getting worked out. But I really want to share the system with everybody so that even if I'm not getting it worked out, some other people might be able to pick it up. Some other people might understand, okay, this is why we have, when I posted this topic, people were like, I'm interested, I'm interested, I'm interested. And it was funny to me because I was once in everybody's shoe when I just want to export, I want to export. So like I told you, for you really to be able to export continuously, you need to be producing, because outside there now, I used to tell people then, I used to say, the production, I'm on a group, you see, I'm on a group. In my group, I'm on a WhatsApp, on a Telegram group, a very good group. But I found out that in my group, you see people come and say, look, I need somebody that can supply ginger, 100 tons. I will just smile. Where will you get it? It's not that farmers cannot produce it. But okay, I will only produce what I know I have market for. I will only produce what I know I can send out, not just produce ginger and now be waiting for who will buy 100 tons at a time. For me to produce 100 tons of ginger or 50 tons or even 20 tons, it means I've created my way, my market. I already have somebody that is taking it off me. If I don't, I will not produce such. That is it for me. Now, still talking on export, I'm talking of must we export. Now, for most of us, if you are looking at export, for most of us, do we need to export? I've been explaining it. There are stores in Nigeria that are looking for who will produce for them, fresh vegetables, everything. Yeah, I'm being candid with you. They are looking for farmers, but the thing is quality and consistency. If you can even start with that one, the Nigerian one, quality and consistency, someone will be forced to ask me, why are you not supplying them? Why are you not producing? Now, and I will answer, how many can only me produce? How many can only me produce? If not now that, okay, the system works in such a way that you don't have access to laborers in Nigeria. So though this year what I have to do is I send somebody down to Benin Republic when my boys were not coming early to go and get me boys. So I got the boys. Though eventually my boy came and brought his own boys, I have to send some of the boys out to people to go and work with them. Now, what am I saying is that if only me want to produce, you see, if I'm producing 2 acres and another farmer stay close, maybe 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer away, and he or she is producing another 2 acres, and you know what I mean, and it's scattered like that or whatever, it is a good way to be able to meet up the market demand. And you see, like I said, Nigeria, I've mentioned all the things we import. They are numerous. So we even need to first look at that before looking at exports, before running around the export produce. To be candid, we have a lot of loopholes. We have a lot of needs in the country. We import onion flakes. Okay, now for the export, you wonder why in the north they produce plenty tomatoes. Why are they not exporting? They produce plenty onions. Why are the companies they are not buying it, or why they are not exporting? Because of quality standard. You know what I mean? When you talk of quality standard, when you talk of quality standard, okay, in the north, and I'm not saying using in the north, every farmers generally, you just buy a chemical and you spray, bam, everything, you spray your produce. If you want to export this, they will test for the residue and pesticide. You see, when you use pesticide or synthetic or anything you are using on your farm, which is common with all farmers in Nigeria, that is what we do. So when we use it, that food crop, we have to pass through some tests before you can send it out of the country. I once remember, we were told at one of my training, a man packed his loads and everything, and get whatever. Forget NAFDAC number when you are exporting; it doesn't work. Even if you are certified with NAFDAC, doesn't mean you certify at there. So when the man got all his paper, all those things together and moved the produce, when you move the produce and they check it outside there and it did not meet standard, you have two options. The first option is that you take it back to where you are bringing it, or the second option, you pay for them to destroy it for you. When you send things outside and it did not meet up the standard, they will charge for the pest level. Pest, okay. Now they don't want, there are something we call pests. Those things that destroy our crops and everything. In Nigeria, we use chemical. Yeah, kill them, back, kill everything. Those chemicals, those things we are spraying, we are using, is killing human beings too. It's killing us. So in the process, when we spray them like that and kill everything like that, there will still be some, even if rain fall or you wash it or whatever, there will still be some level, some residue level, remnant of that thing that they test for in that produce you are exporting outside. So if that residue is still there, you cannot get that produce outside. They have a level you must not pass, the level that those things you use. So those calibrations on our pesticide, on everything, people don't follow it, and you need to follow it if you really want to export. That is why I actually converted to organic. Let me not even bother myself about all those things. That's one. Then the second, like I remember our beans, we produce beans and everything in the north. We produce a lot of things, but we don't meet export quality. We don't meet export quality. So it is the quality, the export quality starts from production on the farm. The export quality starts from the farm. It is from the farm you can really decide, okay, production. And most cases, most people don't bother about production. They just start, okay, I want to export, I want to export, I want to export. So right now, I think I'll be giving some time for people to ask questions. Please just write your question. I'll pick it one by one and attend to it for some time, and then we can move. And then we can move. You can ask me things you don't really understand, or something you want me to expatiate on the export, some on the why we need to export to Nigeria. So please, you can drop your question if you are here with us while I just attend to it. And like I said, we can export, but sometimes we wonder, is it really necessary for us to export? Like I said, but if you are still here with me, you can have your question while we handle it. So those are the things, like I said, you can, from in summary of all what we've been saying, from the in summary of what we're saying, there's a lot we can export. There's a lot, but there are rules and regulations to exporting. There are quality that is demanded from us, which we are not meeting. And for those that are buying foodstuff, as in, I want to buy foodstuff to supply farmer, or I want to buy foodstuff to send to any other thing, you find out that those your foodstuff you are buying, that you want to supply, those your foodstuff you are buying, you find out that you don't know how they are produced. And these are the things the outside are worried about. Like I wish to tell people, then I said, in Nigeria, we eat poison, we eat anything, we don't care, and you know what I mean. But outside the country, they caution, they watch what their people get access to. People, they want to know what people are consuming to reduce health challenges and everything. So it's unlike Nigeria here, where we we don't mind, we just go to the market, we pick anything that is there and we take it. But right here, no, they do that. So those are the method of exporting. It now depends on you now what you really want to get involved with. Is it the agents are available? You can send the agent to export for you. You can send through agent. But like I said, you need a contact out there for you to export. For the group individual and for the one, you need to pick a crop. Okay, this is the crop I want to plant. And you need to pick a crop and be able to send the crop outside. So those are the things about exporting. If you have questions, you can ask them. If you don't, and then you can check them up. If you have questions, you can ask. If you don't have questions, I'll be planning to round up that. And thank you for joining me for this. Thank you for joining me. So I will just wait for some time. If you have questions, so that we can just quickly take the questions. Okay. Yeah, and just like we were talking, I still said Lasso guys have been there. And okay, Lasso in Yanoba is well known to me. In fact, my father house at Ibatan. That's where we grew up. Yeah, I live around that area too, the Lasso area, and then I didn't count them as anything until I got to the farm. Then I realized, oh, these guys are making cool dough. Let me see what I can get from them. So I usually go there to visit them. So we should. Okay, logistic can be challenging if you have customers in Lagos. Yeah, yes, sir, I agree with you. Logistic, okay, there's something I've not mentioned, and there's somebody I've not mentioned. Thank God you brought this up, sir. There's currently a group. logistics. Yes, Madam Maureen. They are outside the country and she has been organizing. Now, this is their concern in the group. They were concerned that most of the African foods that are coming to Europe are coming from Ghana, and nothing much is out of Nigeria. And she's in Nigeria and she runs an NGO, Food Bridge. So they're looking at if they can put some of us, the farmers, there through, so that we can start putting things out there, as in, so that we can participate. So I think there's a webinar or there's a training coming up. I don't know if I've missed it, on logistic for people that want to export. Like you mentioned, sir, I'm not, if, see, I'm looking, if there's a way, like logistic issue, if customers are plenty in the same area for the London and Manchester, if people that are demanding, for instance, like everybody, I know there are plenty Nigerians, there are plenty Africans around those areas, but the problem we all have, all of us, the people supplying, the people buying, is that we don't even know each other, or we don't even know how to link up. But if there, maybe if somebody logistic guy can work on that, there are opportunities in that aspect. But candidly, the people in Nigeria will not be able to do that. It's only the people outside there that will be able to organize that, and then they can link up with farmers or producers in Nigeria to be able to get access to that. Then somebody said, thanks a lot for this wonderful session. Please, how can we get access to the local stores who are willing to have constant supply of vegetables and other farm produce? Honestly, I have access to them. When you talk of local stores, yeah, not I have access to them. But like I told you, there are rules and regulations. Okay, for the past 3 or 4 years, I've been networking with some of the stores. They want me to supply. I recently still visit them in Lagos. They gave us what they required. Like, habanero is one of them. Habanero is one of them. Sweet potato. Yes, in Nigeria, I'm telling you, market demand in Nigeria. Habanero, sweet potato, sweet corn, yam, and I even I jotted it down. I went with a colleagues, and this okay, thank you, sir. The webinar is on the 16th. I registered. I know I registered the webinar for logistics. I know I registered, but I was thinking, you know me. Thank you, sir, for that reminder. Now, going back, like in Nigeria, they want this produce. They want, but they need samples first. Now, my concern is this. Like I told them, I don't mind organizing farmers together. The concerns we have is this. Okay, we are all scattered, and like I said, we don't want to leave our comfort zone. And two, they want quality. So I want to be guaranteed you can produce quality. I want to be guaranteed, and even though you understand what I mean. So the stores are here, they need demand. Actually, they were importing. They are importing, yes, I'm being sincere with you. They import virtually most vegetables. Now they are looking at if they can work with Nigerian farmers, if farmers can supply them. And the advantage you have with supplying the stores, one, the advantage you have with supplying the stores, one, consistency. You must be able to supply all year round. It means you must have your irrigation system. It means you must have your irrigation system in places. I don't know. It means you have good work, you have land. For instance, if you want to be producing for them, you should have a land. Like, okay, if I have, like I was telling somebody, in a year you should target, I want to be using 6 acres. It means every month you'll be planting half acres to be able to produce all year round for whatever produce they want from you. It's not that, okay, this year it's raining now, I produce all the 6 acres. The remaining month, there's nothing for me to produce again. So you can see, I don't know, I don't want to organize that. I don't know if I can put up a group where I'll start sorting people out on, okay, people that we want to supply the stores and what they can produce. I'll get the produce and the recommendation and the quality that they want. But to be candid, it's going to be a lot of stress because I will want to see the farm, I will want to see your capacity, I will want to see, I don't know if you understand, and it's going to cost something because you know what I mean. I don't know if you can pick, maybe possibly I'll first work with people in the or your state or close by to my location here first. On that one, I answered that one. Somebody said, oh my. Okay, so will it not be as well? Okay, Okay, somebody said this is not really a question but suggestion. Will not be advisable we come together as farmers to form some association as to be able to export based on what I could understand so far. Yes, it's a good deal if farmers can come together to do that. But you know the way associations run, it takes somebody need to start the work. Somebody need to start the work, as in who and who. Okay, I belong to a group. It is called AFGAN, Agricultural Fresh Growers Exporters Associations of Nigeria. If I see youths that are interested, that really want to export, we can organize a youth wing. Yes, I work with the senior wing, but most of them are not farmers, so we could leave them. So they are farmers, but they can, let's just create a youth wing. I can discuss with the organizers. We create a youth wing so that we can use them to step the ladder. Yes, because they have some connections we can work with. If I have youths that will partners, and please, I don't want you sending me messages, my SMS, whatever. I have a lot already. But if I see what I can do about that, we can coordinate. If we see youths around, that can form their youth wings, and then we can use them to climb to start production. Most of them in that group are always looking for something to export. They have the link to the export, but they don't have that produce. Like ginger is a highly demanded crop. So many things every day if we have youth that are ready to work. How can I see the number of books you wrote and prices, ma? Okay, I will attend to that after this lecture. Yes, I have 4 books in circulation. I have more than 4 books, but the one I felt I did a good job. There are 3 that has some of them had hard copy, but some of them are in soft copy now. So I have How to Farm Profitably in Nigeria is 5,000 naira. Soft copy, we don't currently have the hard copy now. There's Tomato Millionaire. My Tomato Millionaire is 4,000. There's soft copy, there's hard copy. My maize, 7 tons per hectare. You want to plant maize, you want to have good yield. Currently on my farm, my maize is the talk of the town in my village because I have good yield from maize. We're even thinking of expanding what we produce, but I don't really like maize planting. But I did that so my maize book is also 4,000 naira. The Tomato Millionaire, there's a lot to learn in tomatoes there. You will really love it. You will really love it. So Tomato Millionaire is 4,000. How to Farm Properly is 5,000. You should get that first before you even get any other one. Then How to Grow Onion is 2,000 naira. So all my books, you want to have the 4 package, is 15,000. I can give you discount when you are buying the 4 package at the same time. Yes, I'll discount it, of course, if you request for the 4 together. Thank you, sir. The webinar is on 16. The webinar on logistic. Please, if you know how to register, I will see if I can get the link so that I put it on my timeline. You should register for those that want to export. The webinar on how to export, the logistic for export. I'm also participating. It is organized by Food Bridge. I will also be participating. I will also be attending because I really want to know more about it. Now, how do I register for the farm logistic webinar? Yes, I will get in touch with Madam Maureen so that I can put it on my timeline so that people can follow the link there. Yes. How can we collaborate on solving the problems? Madam, I don't know. Sincerely, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This honestly, I don't know. Because see, it's to be candid, I will still bring out some session like this after this one so that we discuss. See, if you want to collaborate, it has to be in sections. When I talk of section, there should be people that will produce, as in people that can facilitate production. There should be people B that will say, okay, me, I'm not producing. I just want to support in you know what I mean. I don't want to support in whatever. Then there should be people that say, okay, we are logistic, we are this. And it should be a system where everybody has a role to play, and then everybody has, okay, this is coming, this, because eventually, let me be to be sincere with all of us want to make money. All of us want to see how we can do something that will fetch us something. But it's not something that will come instantly. This is where I have challenge. Most people that are already in the farming system know farming is not an instant something where you get money immediately. So if everybody have that mentality, okay, let's work towards this together. Everybody cannot be a farmer. Everybody cannot be a transporter. Everybody cannot be a. You understand what I mean? So we can really say, okay, I can sit down at one of the system here with, okay, what do we actually need to do? So we break it into pieces and break it into lines and then dissect it and say, okay, we want to do this first one. You want to do this for second. You understand? Then people can now come in and say, look, okay, I'm interested, I'll participate at this long junction. You can't be part of everything because it will be too stressful for you. I don't know. It's just a suggestion. I'm just thinking, I think as you were saying, but it's not something I plan, and it's not something I'm working on, to be candid. No, no, not yet. But it's something people can. So now that would okay, it's something people can really look at. Transportation logistics from Delta to Lagos is a major problem. It's not only yours, honestly, it's not. Let me give you one instance I have. Just 3 or 4 days ago, I nearly go haywire. I called the driver. We wanted to harvest our cucumbers. So I called the driver, and I arranged with him, look, we might have a bus load of cucumber. Even though it's not full, I will pay for bus load moving from here to Lagos. He said, no problem, we have the arrangement. I've called the market, there's no cucumber in the market, and the price is good. So we've arranged. In the morning, when we started harvesting in the morning, I called the driver. Hope you didn't forget. I said, no problem, just keep harvesting. In the afternoon, Ogami, where are you? He said, no problem. By 6 o'clock, after we finished harvesting and we were waiting for him. By 6 o'clock, I called him. He said, yeah, I should get another driver. You can imagine. And my locality is such that you cannot easily access driver. We started calling different drivers. The moment they know it's emergency, it's become something else. Eventually, thank God, one thing I'm going to mention it, because we grow organic, our vegetables don't go bad on time. It stay longer than what you can think of. Because when you grow with synthetic, the moment you harvest, the synthetic start dissolving. The chemicals, all the thing you spray start dissolving and start bringing out water. So we were locked. By the time we even got to the market the next day, I was told we still have the best vegetables in the market. Yeah. So I'm just telling you, it is not only in Delta State to Lagos that you have challenges. In my Oyo State to Lagos is a big problem. The big problem. So the number one, if you are working, if you are working as a group, it might be easy for you to incorporate the drivers. There's a lot. Let me not even discuss that right here. Is a lot that farmers or producers need to battle with in Nigeria of today, honestly. Do you have gap certification, ma? No, I don't have. Now, I don't have gap certification because gap certification should come directly from your buyer. If you already have, okay, if a buyer tells you, look, I want to buy ginger, can you produce ginger for me? And I want your ginger to have gap certification. We'll have discussed and everything. And then see, gap certification is not something you get in a day. It's very strict. Yes, I know the procedure, have the procedures and things you need to put. There's a lot you need to put in place on your farm to meet your storage facilities, your cooling system, your arrangement. There's a lot you need to put. Like I said, gap certification is good and is recommended when you work in group, because the charges, the cost, we cover all of it together. Like if you are going to look for gas certification, I can bet you are spending nothing less than 2 million, 1 million to 2 million. Yeah, forgetting the stress and everything. So if a group can share that together and be able to, it won't have much effect if a group is working together and the cost will come down, because you have to invite them, they'll come over and everything. It's a lot gap. So no, I don't have, and I'm not even working towards this right now, to be sincere with you. Tomato millionaire is of interest to me. I'm glad, I'm glad, I'm glad. Thank you. So so please check with Cargo Link International Limited. Okay, somebody that want to export. Okay, if you have, you can say you should check with Cargo Link. Okay. It will do good if you can have this discussion on a weekly basis. That way we can learn and also collaborate to achieve good success. Yeah, my sister, very, very good. I will see what I can do. But candidly, for me to do this today, I cancel going to the farm. I go to farm as early as 7 o'clock, and most times I come back 3, 4. But I look at it, if I can enter that farm, we don't have good network on my farm. What I can do is I can source for where we can get good network on my farm and make that place my sitting position when I'm in the farm. Like this today now, I already know because of this. Network is a bit good when I'm in the village or when I didn't go to farm. But if I'm on the farm, I won't be able to. And you see, I can't keep away from the farm most of the time. But I will see what around that place so that we can see what we can do. I really want a bit of exposure for us. I feel I have plenty, I feel I have informations that people need, and I need to share with them. So we'll see what we can do about that. Yes. Okay. How do I get the book Tomatoes Millionaire? Yes, you can just, if you have my number, you can send me WhatsApp message or Facebook message. I'll respond so that you can get the tomato. This is, I have the soft copy. The hard copy can be forwarded to you from Lagos. I have a contact that will help me forward it to you, and then you can have it. So thank you for joining me here today, and let's hope, as Tamin has said, as suggested, let me see if I can put something up next week. I will during the week I will see where I can get network on the farm so that we can discuss some other topic. Not even we can discuss, I can bring out something else. It could be export, it could be something else, whatever. Maybe during the week or anytime I will see what we can do. So thank you so much, and hey, you have a beautiful weekend while I get to run to the farm. You are welcome. Oh, sorry for the digression. Do you have a contact who can custom airport client? Ah, no, no, no. Oh, okay, yeah. I can. Please send me a Facebook message. Let me give you a contact number. He should be able to help. I know it brings in livestock. Yeah, it brings in. I don't. Yes, let me give you a friend's number, a contact number. You can send me a Facebook message. I will send you the contact. You can. He should be able to help. He brings in dogs and all these stuff. He sells them. He imports them. I can. Yes, I do. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. This is Yinka Adeshola from Farm Villa.